Hi, this is not a review, a critique, a hot take on the new Rolex GMT Master 2 green and black dialed left-hand drive watch. This is in fact a discussion about why that watch, or in fact any left-hand drive watch, is not for left-handers. They are a gift, a boon, a present from the gods for righties, and I'll tell you why. As a left-hander, we have routinely worn our watches on the right wrist. Given that 99.9% of watches are right-hand drive, that means we wear it with the crown pointing away from our hand. And what we have found almost universally is that is brilliant. That is by far and away the best way to wear a watch. And most of us have no desire to ever change back and regress to wearing it like you right-handers do. Let me tell you why. First reason, the crown is probably the single most vulnerable part of your watch. It's why the watchmaker routinely gives it a crown guard. Getting it away from the back of your hand, getting it away from that big open space when you move your hand. It makes it less likely to bang, less likely to knock, less likely to inadvertently pop out. All in all, better. Also, it's simply more comfortable. Look at the pictures I'm going to be putting up. Every time I see one with the crown pointing towards the hand, I wince inside. They look painful. Take it from me. Having worn a watch on my left-hand wrist recently a little bit when I was double fisting with a fitness tracker, it was so painful. I found myself feeling so sorry for right-handers. I quickly gave it up. I decided it wasn't worth it anymore. I would rather not have the data than have to keep going through that. I've now given it up and gone back to wearing a watch properly, comfortably, with the crown away from the back of my hand. The third reason is, and it might sound paradoxical, it's better because it makes something harder. Wearing a watch like this with the crown away from your hand makes it harder to set and wind on wrist. Now, I have searched everywhere around I can find on the net. I can't find a single watchmaker or a single watch manufacturer that recommends winding or setting a watch on whilst you're wearing it. What I have found is lots of places, independent watchmakers and watch manufacturers like IWC, saying, before you wind a watch, before you set a watch, step number one, take it off. And the logic seems to always be the same. Because if you're doing it on the wrist, it could be slightly awkward. You could apply a lateral load to the crown stem and you can break or bend it, therefore damaging your watch. Why would you do that? A procedural control, in engineering terms, that's what we'd call it, of wearing your watch in a way that hinders your ability to do something bad is a good thing. So wearing a watch with the crown positioned so it's harder to wind or set on the wrist is how it should be worn. So if they're all the good things, are there any benefits to wearing a watch the wrong way with the crown towards your hand? If you are a right-hander, there is one benefit that I can think of, and that's when taking a wrist shot using a camera. I'll show you what I mean. So I've got a standard watch on my wrist right now as a lefty, and I've got the crown pointing up towards my elbow away from my hand as I think it should be. So far, so good. But if I go to take a photo, remember all cameras are right-handed, I've got to do this. Wrap my hand around like that, and then maybe I can see it. It's very hard to hold the camera like this. I can't see very well. It's a bit of a pain. If I was a right-hander, it's just very simple. That's it. That's the advantage, the only advantage of wearing a watch as most right-handers do. So, is there any other reason people do it? I think it's mostly probably out of habit. In ye oldie days, before people spent their time typing, then many people wrote with a pen. And if you're a right-hander, it might be awkward to write and rest your hand with a watch on. So I can get why you would wear the watch on the other side. But we don't write anymore. So why do we keep doing it? Probably out of habit. Probably people have just got used to, this is how I wear a watch. Well, I'm telling you, you should stop. Take it from us lefties. It's way more comfortable wearing a watch, most watches, over here on your right hand. So don't look at these new watches, don't look at any left-hand drive watch as somehow a present to us lefties. I don't know a left-hander who wants one of these things. These are very definitely for you. These are gateway drugs to enable a right-hander to experience the bliss of wearing a watch the way lefties do every day.